Alright, it will be time to continue with the Stratios. Now, last time I got the new Trailblazer Nanocore for this ship, and honestly, I haven't really used it that often. The blue Nanocore that I usually use on this ship is still performing really well. Now, that doesn't mean that the new Nanocore is bad. It's pretty good when I have to go and tackle a target. But the Stratios is already one of the best tackle ships in the game. I still find it very funny that a exploration ship has so much use in PvP. Sister of Eve is a faction that is mostly about exploration, but I guess in pirates' hands, any ship can be used for piracy. Now, I thought about trying out the armor bonus on this Nanocore and still haven't changed the attribute, but there's a big chance that I might swap the extra scan resolution for extra armor. The extra armor on the ship can be very useful for prolonged tackle if the target is, for example, very tanky, or if the target can track your ship at close range. Not really sure if I would use the inertia modifier bonus. I think that this ship already warps pretty quickly. And currently I'm also saving my ISK for the implants. I actually thought about leveling this Nanocore up, but that has to be set for another time, because in this new patch you can actually buy the implants from the Concord store. I'll have to double check that in a moment, but first let me return the blue Nanocore on this ship. The extra DPS is also very helpful and very useful. Okay, now let me first turn off the chat over here. Okay, now for this ship I think I might actually go with the bombard implants. The bombard implants have been buffed in the latest update. I think they have given the implant +1 charge, basically +1 bomb for the drones. And well, I think this could be really useful, because when I tested it out on the test server, they have enough DPS to actually destroy a tank cruiser within a couple seconds, which is still, I think, a little bit, a little bit too strong, but I guess that's what it is currently. The other defensive implant is also pretty useful, and it's really good if you have to tackle a ship with really high DPS. In the end, I think I will get both of them. Currently, I'm going for the barrage implant and the drone bomb implant. They are my current objective. As for the implants, now let me show you where you can actually buy the implants. You can get them for ISK. I think they are over here. Yep, they are over here. They cost 4 billion, which is, if you ask me, a little bit on the costly side, but it is totally obtainable via ISK. And once you get the implant, then you can slowly level it up, and you can actually get level 45 with this way, which is okay, I guess. One way to obtain the implants that you are looking for. In the future, I think that there will be a lot more ways to obtain them, but currently that's one of the ways that I will use for my ships. The first implant that I'll probably buy is definitely for the Stratios, because I found myself flying this ship a lot more often than battleships. So the Stratios is going to get a implant first, and then the Macarial is going to get the barrage implant, because the DPS on this ship is really busted, and I already showed you that you can get around 47,000 DPS on this ship, so that's going to be one of my goals with the Macarial. As for the implants, but let me go back to the Stratios, and I guess it will be time to undock and have some fun with this ship. Again, one of the best tackle ships in the game and one of the best solo PvP cruisers that you can fly. Although it's a little bit difficult to fly this ship, in the end, I would say that it is really fun and the Stratios is really, really useful. Now the first target is going to be a rock. They are aligned and they're tackled. One way to tackle aligned ships is using a Stratios, so that they can't warp out if a ship comes in. Now I had to do a quick tackle, basically did not have enough time to change the scanner into a web, and as you can see, this rock can track me at this range because I have dual webs on my ship. But if I keep moving like this, I should technically avoid most of the damage. However, I might not be able to hold this rock for a very long time. And it looks like I will have to warp out.
Warp drive active.
But I did hold long enough, and I think we have more ships landing, which is okay. This is why you always have to carry webs if you engage a sniper battleship or battlecruiser. If they web you, you have to ensure that you are still faster than their ship in order to maintain a stable orbit. In my case, as you could see, I wasn't able to maintain a
Warp drive active.
stable orbit, and the rock was able to track me without a problem. And it looks like the rock was destroyed. Okay, nice. I still did a pretty good job with the tackle. Let's take a look at the kill. 1.9 billion, not bad. A sniper rock. Overall, a very successful hero tackle moment. Okay, let's go to the next one. We have a faction cruiser, we have one Gila. This was a perfect warp-in, right within the optimal range. Let's quickly tackle. And now let's approach to 0. We'll orbit at 0. As usual. The Gila is slowly losing shield. I'm doing some good damage on the shield of that faction cruiser. Doesn't seem to be that tanky, which is a surprise. Now the Gila will be in armor. And now the Gila has been destroyed. Nice. Okay, let's warp out. Very interested to see the build of that ship. Did not feel like they were tanky.
Warp drive active.
The previous Gila in the previous Stratios ROM was really tanky. This one doesn't feel like to be that tanky, but we will see the build. 1.1 billion, okay, well this Gila is cursed. An armor repairer, well that explains why the tank was lacking on this ship. A shield tank and armor tank on this ship. Yeah, that's not a very good build. Not sure why would any pilot build the ship in that way. Next target, I did scan one prophecy. There's the prophecy. For a second I thought that I have seen another purple icon, but I guess there was no purple icon. It was just
Warp
my
drive
imagination.
active.
Okay, let me go and warp a little bit closer to the prophecy. I should land at around, I would say, maybe 20 kilometers. I warp at 25, it should throw me really close to the prophecy.
Warp drive active.
Maybe even below 10 kilometers. Okay. Well, 12 kilometers, I was close. The prophecy is moving and they have one target painter. Let's quickly tackle. This prophecy seems to be very tanky. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Okay, looks like this prophecy has dual armor repairs. One web, one target painter, and probably one Nosferatu, that's the classic PvE build. Or one neutralizer, okay, that works as well. Well then, let's see how tanky this prophecy is. Also, let's see how tanky my Stratios is. The goal here is to try and outlast the prophecy's capacitor, which might be a little bit difficult because the prophecy by default has a better capacitor than the Stratios. So far everything seems to be stable. I'm definitely taking a little bit more armor damage than the prophecy. The prophecy probably has higher DPS as well. The prophecy has some pretty scary DPS. It can have amazing DPS, as I will probably show you in a couple days. My capacitor at 41%. The Nosferatu is helping maintaining the capacitor at around 40%. I'm also saving up the this prophecy might also have the drone bomb implant. I think both of our ships' capacitors are slowly going down. The prophecy is also doing a pretty good job at the activation time on the armor repairs. They are very good at that as well. The Prophecy lost capacitor, so the web has been disabled. I also turned off my afterburner to conserve capacitor as much as possible, and the Prophecy was destroyed basically the moment I hit 1% cap. That was a pretty good fight. And that was a pretty good build on the Prophecy, a very nice tank.
Warp drive active.
Okay, let's take a look at the kill. Well, not bad. Dual adaptives, one reactive, and dual armor repairs. Yeah, that's a pretty solid tank on a ship like this. Although they only had 2 missiles, a third slot was empty for some reason. Next target we have one Drake. Let's see, what would be the best warping? Well, there is no... Oh, okay, we have one asteroid field. Asteroid cluster to be more accurate. Let's warp to the asteroid cluster and then let's warp back at 20 or 30 kilometers. That should be very close to the Drake. Now a Drake can also be...
Warp drive active.
very tanky, but we will see. Okay, that was a perfect warping, right at 9 kilometers. The Drake has been scrambled, and now I will orbit at 0. The Drake did take some significant armor damage, but it looks like they started to use the shield boosters. By the looks of it, this might be dual medium shield boosters, so that means they probably also have capacitor batteries. So the goal will be to outlast the Drake's capacitor. That's how things usually go. Well, this definitely is interesting. The Drake started to boost shield very efficiently. They're trying to orbit around the Stratios, but... So the Drake is trying to orbit around the Stratios, but... the speed on the Stratios is much greater than the speed of the Drake, so the Drake is spinning around its axis, as you can see, which happens if the capacitor on the Drake is empty, so the shield boosters will turn off as well. Okay, let's warp out. That was a nice target.
Warp drive active.
They did have normal medium missiles, dual capacitor batteries and dual shield boosters, okay. And overall a tank build, very interesting build on the Drake. Okay, let's wait out the criminal timer. The next target is a Mauler. Now, from all the tier 6 cruisers, the Mauler is definitely one of the best ones. That thing can be so tanky that it's ridiculous. One of the tankiest, if not the tankiest, tier 6 cruiser in the game. Okay, now the Mauler has been tackled, and I will go to orbit at 0. Looks like this Mauler is very tanky. That ship has a bonus on armor resistance. You can make a Mauler to be a very good PvP ship. Usually you build the Mauler with dual medium armor repairs, adaptive armor harness, afterburner and capacitor battery. That's the build that I would use on the ship. And it looks like we had another Stratios lurking around. Well, that surprised me. The Mauler had a second Stratios lurking around. The Mauler also has a web, but the web is currently applied on... well, it was applied on the pirate ship. Now I have been webbed and pointed. Mauler is in low armor. Now in hull, but they are still repairing armor quite well. The hull on the Mauler is damaged. The armor repairs are still up and running. I would guess that they have armor repair rigs. They also probably have armor resistance rigs and things like that. They are efficiently tanking both of our ships here. Wish I had a web, would be a lot easier to hold the Mauler. I think their capacitor is also running low, and near the end they started to use both armor repairs. Really good armor repairs on that ship. And the Mauler has been destroyed. Nice. That was a very nice kill. And a very tanky one as well. Now let's warp out and let's take a look at the kill. $92 million, not bad. It almost took 100,000 damage. Dual armor repairs, dual capacitor batteries and one adaptive. Overall a pretty solid build. Okay, the next target we have one Brutix, and they seem to be orbiting, and I would guess they use rifled railguns, so that means I will have to equip a web on the Stratios, and of course I will have to find a good warp in. I think I already know where I should go, so let me warp towards the
Warp drive
station,
active.
towards the gate, and then I'll warp back to the Brutix. I think they are around 25 to 30 kilometers away from the center of the mission, so that would be the range that I will be warping at.
Warp drive active.
Warping back to the Brutix. Now with the Brutix, if they are using blasters, then you would definitely want to use a long range build, because a Brutix can have some pretty scary DPS. I think you can achieve over 1000 DPS on that ship without a problem. So the Brutix was moving, it's orbiting at 25-30 kilometers around the ships, so I'll have to slowly approach the Brutix. I should be faster, so it will not take too long to approach this ship. And unfortunately there is no better warp in, there is no object above me. I could technically use the double warp method, but I don't think that's necessary. I should have enough time to tackle this ship. The Brutix is now at 19 kilometers. They have changed their trajectory, and now I should be approaching a little bit faster. Now at 14 kilometers. We'll tackle the ship any moment now. Now, since the Brutix has rifled railguns, I have one web and one Nosferatu with dual scramblers. Basically, if I orbit close enough, the Brutix will not be able to hit my ship. Or if they still manage to hit, the incoming damage would not be that serious. Brutix at 50% armor, they have dual webs, but I still have more speed. After all, the Brutix is a slow battlecruiser, while the Stratios is a slow cruiser. A slow battlecruiser will be slower than a slow cruiser. The Brutix is now into hull. They have one armor repairer, I think that's a medium armor repairer. Overall, the incoming damage is not that significant, so I should be safe. A friendly Orcus popped in, okay. And the Brutix has been destroyed. Nice. That was a nice kill. Let me warp out and let's wait out the criminal timer. If the
Warp
Brutix
drive
was a long-range build, I could probably take the Orcus out to destroy the ship if it has one missile launcher, but I guess it worked. Although I would still place one more missile launcher in the high slots. Now the next target we have bellicose cover tops. So I have dual webs and dual scramblers for that ship, and they are flying right in the direction of the Stratios, which means I will tackle them very soon. It also looks like they have a micro drive, so once tackled, the ship will be slowed down. Okay. The bellicose has been tackled, and now I will orbit zero. I think the bellicose is using rapid missiles. And it looks like the bellicose is also a shield tank. The bellicose has a bonus target painters. So I might have to use my armor repairs more actively. Although I think I can use the second armor repair when needed. The bellicose is using shield. My armor is holding out really well so far. And I lost one drone. Okay, let me quickly replace the missing drone. I forgot to look at the drones. That was my fault. But the bellicose has been destroyed. That was a nice kill. Let's warp out. Looks like I can't drones for some reason. Not really sure why, but that's okay. Let's take a look. The kill almost million, 600 which is really good. Very interesting medium slot layout. Alright, let's go. Next target we have one tornado, and I warped at the same time as friendly frigate. So let me warp to the
Warp drive active.
to the gate, and then I'll warp back at 100 to help out with tornado. The tornado usually is sniper ship, and one way to deal with a sniper ship is to orbit at close range. There is the tornado. I will decloak and tackle immediately because the ship is already tackled. They also have a group shield booster. Very interesting choice. And the tornado has been destroyed. Nice. let's warp out. Let's take a look at the kill.
Warp drive active.
Next target we have one battle cruiser, and it looks like the good warp in would be at around 10-15 kilometers from the small anomaly.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Okay, this has a nanocore, which is very interesting. So I will tackle in a moment. Have one web, and scramblers should be pretty good. Don't expect a lot of stabs from that ship. Okay, they have been tackled. Orbit 0. For some reason, my ship wants to orbit at 11 kilometers, although I did set to be at 0, but I don't know. Not really sure what's happening with that, but okay. They are now into hole. And they have been destroyed. Okay. Let's loot some pretty good loot from the cruiser. Now let's warp out. I will take the kill.
Warp drive active.
Dual armor repairers. And a full DPS build. Well, that's not going to work for LowSec. That explains why the ship was so easy to destroy. So the next target we have one prophecy command. Now this prophecy has a very interesting position. Not that easy to find a good warp-in. Because they're orbiting at around 100 kilometers, but there is basically no good position to warp from. So I think I might have to slowly approach. There's the prophecy 92 kilometers away from my ship. So let's try the double warp method. Usually when there is no clear warp-in, you have to scan the prophecy, or basically any target two times, and then you have to do the double warp. Should land quite close to the prophecy, or with that works with any ship doing the same thing. If they are moving, we have to be quick, because it will warp you back to the original position from which the prophecy was scanned. Okay, 203 kilometers. Prophecy let me warp for a second time. Will be 12 kilometers from prophecy.
Warp drive active.
Or I guess not. 34 kilometers. Well, that's because they were moving. So probably
Warp drive
scan
active.
times and then I'll just warp again and now I am 16 kilometers away from prophecy. This is now much better. The only thing that I have to do now is slowly approach, try to intercept the prophecy, and I think I am going to do that in a moment. This is really difficult to do with cruisers and battlecruisers, but battleships are easy targets. This is where small ships have an advantage over the big ones. I tackled a little bit too early, but I just couldn't afford to wait more, just in case something happens. Looks like this prophecy is using large missiles. I think they might use large the classic large missiles. Not really sure. Okay, that was a nice kill. Let's warp out. That prophecy definitely didn't feel to be very tanky. But we'll have to look at the
Warp drive active.
at the kill to verify that. Well, that's a very interesting build. The prophecy was missing a lot of modules for some reason. We have one more prophecy. Okay, well that's a lot of prophecies today.
Warp drive active.
This is a perfect warp right close to the prophecy. Let's quickly tackle. They were aligned, did not work. This prophecy also doesn't have a tank. That's why they're going down so quickly. Now let's take a look at the kill.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Well, not bad. Well, not bad. Actually, a pretty good kill. Well then, that was a very good run with Stratios. Usually that's how every day goes. Overall, the Stratios is a very good ship that I personally started enjoying in the last couple days. So with that being said, hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.